how's your heart-to-heart going? I hope your students aren't giving you too much of a hard time. Last time was fun, right? Talking about working memory and how to help our kids get better at it. Today, let's talk about another key executive function your child needs. Are you ready? Of course you are. Let's get right into it. Would you trust your 7-year-old to stop watching their favorite cartoon at an instructed time? Or to dish just enough sugar into her breakfast? These are all examples of when self-control matters. So, what really is self-control? It's basically the ability to ignore distractions and resist temptations. It is the skill we rely on to help us bite our tongue and say something nice, and to control our emotions at the same time, even when we are angry or frustrated. It is the skill we call on to push aside daydreams about what we'd rather be doing so we can focus on important tasks. It keeps us from acting impulsively, doing whatever comes into our minds first without thinking through. There are 3 types of self-control: impulse control, emotional control, and movement control. You must be patient and understand that kids develop self-control at different rates. Some just take longer than others. Until they catch up, they have a harder time managing behavior than their friends. So why does self-control matter? Well, it keeps kids in all areas of their lives, but most especially when it comes to socializing. Being in control of their actions and reactions helps kids fit in and make friends, and doing well socially improves their self-esteem. Self-control plays out in different ways depending on the situation and setting kids are in. For example, in class, kids wait to be called on instead of blurting out answers. They take time to think about what the teacher said. In social groups, kids handle gentle teasing without bursting into tears. They come up with better ways of reacting. In stores, kids keep from grabbing something they want off the shelf. They ask if they can see or touch it. At the playground, kids wait their turn to use the slide instead of cutting in line. They might decide to use the swings instead. At home, kids with self-control don't interrupt conversations, even when they're dying to say something. They wait until the other person is done talking. Clearly, we have some more room for improvement. Hey honey, what's up? You may not realize that these behaviors require skill, but they do. Without self-control, kids will behave very differently. They might interrupt a lot, talk non-stop, speak out of turn, get frustrated easily and give up quickly, be unable to stand criticism, continue having outbursts long after other kids have stopped, and be overly active or restless. On the other hand, so how do we nurture them in our kids? You can try these cool tips. Out of sight is out of mind, they say. Even determined dieting adults lose their willpower at the sight of just a donut. So one of the most important tools for maintaining self-control is to change the environment and keep temptations hidden. For your child, this might mean putting away a toy that is likely to cause conflict during a play date. It might also mean keeping electronic distractions away from areas where children do homework. Kids who stay out of trouble and achieve more aren't necessarily blessed with greater strength of character. They're just better at anticipating and avoiding situations that trigger impulsive behavior. You can also create an environment where self-control is consistently rewarded. Ever heard of the famous marshmallow test? Children were given the choice between eating 1 treat now or 2 treats later, and the kids who demonstrated the greatest capacity to wait ended up in subsequent years with better outcomes. You can try it as well. Get a cookie or their favorite snack and reward them when they show self-control. Sometimes it's not the kids' lack of self-control, they lack motivation. That brings me to the third point. Turn must-do tasks into want-to tasks. We need to help them enjoy the tasks we give them to do. Savvy adults know how to get psyched up for an assignment, how to find ways to get personally interested or to combine work with a bit of pleasure. But children have a hard time figuring this all out. Turning a chore into a game takes time and energy. Discovering the right hooks to get kids interested may require a lot of patience, observation, and flexibility. As many successful teachers know, it's an investment that pays off. And it may be the key to beating self-control fatigue. It's much easier to plow through a pile of homework when you've learned to find at least some of it enjoyable. Another tip to adopt is to be an emotion coach. Usually, adults react in different ways to a child's negative emotions. Some are dismissive, others are disapproving. These approaches aren't helpful because they don't teach kids how to regulate themselves. In contrast, kids benefit when parents talk to them about their feelings, show empathy, and discuss constructive ways to cope. And now to my favorite batch of tips, games. That's right. Games that require attention and quick responses help children practice self-control. They include freeze dance or musical statues, musical chairs, red light, green light, or duck, duck, goose for younger children. Other games require selective responses and test self-control, such as the magic word game, in which children wait for a magic word to start an action. Games like Simon Says are great for practicing self-control, since it requires restraining oneself until the right time to complete certain actions. Simon says, hold your waist. Now touch your head. Uh-oh, you didn't get it. Learning to play a musical instrument requires the exercise of self-control, especially when in a choir or band, as it requires waiting for the right time to strike certain notes. This activity also challenges working memory to hold the music in mind. So there you have it, a number of tips you can try to help your child improve self-control. Now, it's not going to be easy, but with patience, they are sure to get it. Well, that's all for now. Next time, we'll chat about another interesting executive function. Did you like this video? Leave a comment, encourage a sister, or share your own tips for teaching your kids self-control. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Talk to you soon. Kisses to your little ones.
From Nestlé.